What's up, everyone? I'm Nick.
And I'm Em.
And welcome into the Ominous Archives. Oh, forgot to unmute us. There we go.
As per usual.
Yep, typical, right?
Typical.
So, not much going on today or this week.
Not much.
We're just going to kind of dive right into this, I guess.
Lucky for you, you don't have to listen to us yap too much today.
Well, this is going to come out, I don't even know when. This is our third edition of spooky season.
It is.
So, we're not going to, I don't know. We're just not
We
gonna
won't
talk
keep
your ear
you
off.
here too long.
Oh, we might. This one's a good one.
Well, not
So.
here. I mean, with our yapping, we won't keep you here too long. We'll get right into it, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, we haven't yet, though.
They knew what I meant. Proceed.
Yeah.
Start your story.
Well, today, since you want me just to start, we're going to be diving deep into one of the most terrifying figures in Filipino folklore, the Aswang. This creature is a shapeshifter, a deceiver, and a hunter. To some, it is a woman by day and a monster by night. To others, it can fly, slink through the trees, and even hide in plain sight among us. The Aswang isn't just one thing, it's many. And tonight, we're going to unmask them all. So why don't we just dive right in?
All right.
So in Filipino folklore, the Aswang is an umbrella term for a terrifying spectrum of shape-shifting creatures, vampires, witches, corpse-eating ghouls, and spectral predators. They all stalk at night, and it's not just a monster, it's a cultural shapeshifter, morphing in form, meaning, and fear, depending on who's telling the story and where. Sometimes it's a flying, severed torso with a tongue like a straw, used to suck fetuses from the womb. Other times, it's a ghoul that digs up corpses, or a pig that walks backwards. Its eyes are said to bulge, its tongue to loll, not LOL. I didn't even know that.
You know what's so funny is that is also what I thought that said.
Yeah, not LOL.
Not LOL.
And its feet face the wrong way, so you can't tell where it came from or where it's going. Some say it's so thin that it can hide behind a bamboo post.
Okay. I'm going to need to go back to, the first sentence that you said, because that is absolutely insane.
In Filipino folklore, the Aswang...
No, not the first sentence. The first sentence of that paragraph.
That's what I just... Oh. Sometimes it's a...
With a severed torso, with a tongue like straw used to suck fetuses from the womb? I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah. This thing is vicious.
I'm confused. I'm confuzzled. That's a lot.
Confuzzled.
That's a lot to unpack.
A heffalump confusal.
What the hell? Also, the feet backwards, don't like it.
Oh, this gets intense.
Okay, great.
If you weren't ready for, spooky season, you're going to be ready now.
Perfect.
You might not even have to go to a haunted walkthrough.
Great. Now I always have to do that.
I feel that's I don't want to say American tradition because I don't know.
It's a must-do
I've never been in another country
tradition,
for it. So.
I don't care.
Yeah. But anyway, the horror travels too. Filipino migrants, especially in the U.S., have brought the myth with them. Even today, many carry amulets and perform protective rituals, not out of superstition, but survival. The Aswang follows. In Louisiana's St. Malo and Milana Village, America's oldest Filipino communities, stories say that marrying a non-Filipino woman helped break the bloodline, as outsiders were believed immune to the curse. Even the myth itself adapted to migration. But the story goes deeper. Folklorist Hermina Menez argues that colonization twisted the Aswang. Yeah, Aswang. Side note. I've listened to a couple of these, and it's so funny listening to everybody's different pronunciations of it.
Yeah, because everybody says it.
We're going to say Aswang.
Right.
Some people say Aswang. And every now and again, you'll get an Aswang. But the Aswang's more of a mistake. So, pretty much colonization twisted this myth to control the Filipino shamans called Babaylin. Babaylin? We're going to say Babaylin. The Spanish friars saw these women as dangerous healers, leaders, and midwives, and turned them into monsters. This is going to be a good one. Mananagal. The Mananagal.
Wow.
With her beautiful human form by day and horrifying disembodied torso by night, became the symbol of colonial fear and gender shame. Yet the Aswang wasn't born in Spain. Its roots stretch into pre-colonial animism and Southeast Asia mythology. Creatures like the Penagalan in Malaysia and the Krasu in Thailand share their bloody appetite, but in the Philippines, the Aswang took on a uniquely cultural, female-coded menace. I'm going to apologize now. I forgot how much pronunciation was going to be in this, and we are not good at... Well, I'm not good at pronunciation. Different regions have different names for it. Here we go again. Mana Nagal, the Wak Wak, the Tik Tik, the Bal Bal, the Ungo, but the meaning's always the same.
I like Wak Wak.
I like any Wak Wak, Tik Tik.
I think Wak Wak was really... It's nice to say.
They're my favorite ones. And it's just going to get worse. But their meaning always... It ends up the same. It hunts, it feeds, it hides in plain sight. And the most terrifying thing, it could look just like you, Em. Or Archie.
Maybe it is me.
I don't think so. There's a couple ways of telling. And
you
I'm
don't know
pretty
me.
Sure, I don't think I know you. We just met the other day.
You don't know me.
So the most unsettling thing about the Aswang isn't its appetite for flesh, blood, or unborn children. It's that it can hide among us, unseen, unsuspected. By day, it looks like anyone else. They're often shy, soft-spoken, even helpful. They can have jobs, families, friends. You might pass one at the market or work beside one at your office. You never know. But by night, they become something else entirely. The Filipino folklore has many different types of Aswang, each with its own distinct powers, habits, and horrific specialties. Before we move forward, let's take a moment to clarify something important. There isn't a single official list of Aswang types. Some examples that we discussed today, like the Mananagal, Tik Tik, Wak Wak, corpse eaters, and animal shapeshifters, represent only a slice of the broader Aswang mythology. The term Aswang itself is an umbrella term. It doesn't refer just to one creature, but rather a whole category of shapeshifting, predatory beings in the Filipino folklore. Depending upon who you ask, or where in the Philippines you are, the categories, traits, and even names can vary significantly. That said, researchers and folklorists have generally broken the Aswang into 5 broad categories based on their primary behaviors, characteristics, according to various ethnographic studies. Here, we have some more structured breakdown of each one. So there's the vampire Aswang. These creatures are often described as beautiful women who blend into human society, usually through marriage, but their intentions are anything but romantic. At night, they use a long, proboscis-like tongue to secretly drain the blood of their sleeping husbands.
Never say that again. Hated that.
I don't think I can.
I don't enjoy that at all.
Not because I don't want to, but because I really don't think I can. In some stories, they do this slowly over time and weaken their partner until they fall ill and die, and they don't even raise suspicion on it. There is the Viscera sucker Aswang. This is the one that most people are familiar with. The Mananagal, which we will cover.
At that one now.
I hope I'm saying it right, because I'm feeling pretty good about it. We'll cover this in more detail soon, but these are flying, self-segmenting monsters that prey specifically on pregnant women.
Ugh.
Using the infamous straw-like tongue,
Nope.
they consume fetuses or internal organs during the night, leaving their lower body behind as they take flight.
Ew. Like, sickos.
Oh, wait do we describe it?
I'm irritated.
We're going to go...
That is
No.
disgusting.
I was going to say we're going to go into super great detail, but even if I wanted to, I don't think I could. There's the were-dog, Aswang. So think of this as the Philippine take on the werewolf myth, but with more variety. Were-dog Aswangs can shapeshift into animals, most commonly dogs, pigs, or cats.
Ugh, leave the cats out of it.
These aren't cute neighborhood strays, though. They stalk the roads, forests, and village paths at night, preying on the vulnerable, particularly lone travelers and expected mothers.
What is their obsession with the mothers?
I don't know.
Like, what's the obsession here?
I think it's the whole, like, new life thing.
Yeah, it's creepy. I don't like it.
I don't think it's there to be liked. I mean, to be honest, there's a witch Aswang. This type veers more into the sorcery and psychological horror. Witch Aswangs are known for casting terrible curses, making foreign objects like nails, stones, or bugs emerge from bodies of their victims.
Ugh.
They're feared not just for their magic, but for their vindictiveness. One of their telltale traits, their eyes reflect images upside down, a creepy detail that's often whispered but rarely verified.
That's weird. I've never heard of that before.
Hence why earlier when you were like, oh, I could be one, I was like,
Yeah.
I don't
maybe
think you are.
not.
I don't think so.
Weird.
Last time I checked, we're all right side up if we look.
Also,
in
like
your eyeball.
bugs emerging from your victim. No, thank you, please. Keep it.
Yep. Now we have the ghoul Aswang.
I love that word.
Ghoul?
It's, I don't know, it's like a little bit cooler than ghost to me.
Yeah.
Ghoul.
I think they are actually different.
Yeah, no, it's just like,
Yeah.
it's just funny.
Mm-hmm.
Ghoul.
It's a ghoul. It's like cool, but
Okay.
not. Anyway, these Aswangs are corpse eaters. They lurk near cemeteries, sometimes hiding in trees, waiting to exhume and feast on the freshly buried bodies.
See, for some, like, I like them better already. At least these people are already dead. They're not trying to take people's fetuses.
Yeah, but I mean, if they're digging up a loved one and eating
Yeah,
it.
I guess you're right. I mean, yeah, there's no good way to put it, but like, this seems a little less morbid. A little.
Yeah, I mean, so it's often described that it has a foul odor, skeletal features, and it has like bat-like stealth, they say. Their love for the decaying flesh puts them in the same family as a European ghoul, but with a uniquely Filipino twist. Now, this is the kicker. Some regional folklore mixes and matches these categories. You might find a mananagal who can cast curses like a witch, or a were-dog who feeds on the dead like a ghoul. There's no rule book,
Yeah, that's
just
crazy.
a shared understanding that these creatures walk among us, constantly evolving with each generation of storytelling. So now, we're going to go a little deeper into each specific Aswang that we just talked about. So, the Mananagal possibly is the most iconic version of the Aswang. It gets her name from the Tagalog word for tengal, which means to remove or to separate. That's because the creature does exactly that. She detaches her upper torso from her lower body, sprouts massive, leathery, bat-like wings, and flies into the night in search for prey. Can you guess at this point what her favorite prey is?
Pregnant women?
Yep.
Yeah.
Using this long, needle-like tongue, almost like a straw,
I hate that analogy. I really don't like the
Just-
tongue
I
and
mean-
straw analogy.
Just picturing it is not.
It's so bad.
Yeah. She feeds on the hearts of fetuses or drinks the blood of sleeping victims. While often described as horrifying and skeletal in her monster form, she's frequently portrayed as a beautiful older woman by day. The transformation from trusted neighbor to predator is part of what makes her so terrifying. In some tales, if you find the Mananagal's abandoned lower body and sprinkle salt or garlic on it, she cannot reconnect and will die by sunrise.
Okay, so giving vampire a little bit.
Yeah.
The garlic.
Mm-hmm. Despite her mythical roots, the Mananagal has become a pop culture icon, appearing in films, comics, and horror anthologies around the world, and yet her legend is still alive and feared in the rural Philippines, where pregnant women sometimes place salt and ash around their windows for protection.
I don't blame them. I'm not messing around.
I would not.
I absolutely not.
Mm-mm.
Also,
Oops.
the whole, like, torso, like, separation thing is also, I don't like it. Everything about it.
Did you see the pictures?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird.
Yeah, could you imagine just walking in the street
No.
and then there's just like the bottom half of a torso?
No.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, like, my first thought is, let me, like, pour some salt and some garlic on there, make sure it doesn't reattach itself. I'm not thinking about that. I'm running.
Yeah. Now we're going to move on from that to probably, I think, my favorite one, the tick-tick. So it's closely linked to the Mananagal. It's named for the chilling sound it makes during flight. Tick, 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 tick. But here's a trap. The louder the sound, the further away it is. The quieter, the closer. It's a cruel auditory illusion designed to disarm its victims to make them feel safe when they're actually in mortal danger. Symbolically, the tick-tick represents concealed threats. Those who smile in the light and strike in the dark. By day, it may appear as a normal person, or even a pig or a dog. By night, it becomes a flying predator that uses mimicry and deception to isolate and consume.
I love that you knew that word was mimicry, because do you remember when I had, like, the utmost issue with that word?
Yeah.
It was a couple episodes ago. I literally could not get that word for the life of me.
It's funny because sometimes if you just don't think about it, it just comes out.
Yeah. And other times I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, I'm like, I don't understand this. Sometimes it's the easiest word.
I said Mimi cry.
Mimi cry. You did. I actually remember that. Recordings and having words to say. Sam does a good job, too, with giving me the pronunciations, and I still get them wrong. So, there's that. In Filipino households, the tick-tick has become a kind of moral fable. Parents use it to warn children against staying out after dark. If you stay out, there's danger beyond your home and community. So, kind of the typical, kind of like the boogeyman story.
Yeah.
Another horrifying winged variant
I like this one.
is the wak-wak.
A wak-wak.
Named after the sound of its powerful wings make while flying. Walk, walk, walk. No, it's not. It's walk, walk. Yeah, there you go. That's better.
You know.
It's often confused with the Mananagal and the tick-tick. But the wak-wak.
Like, these are sentences that, like, nobody, I feel like, who is saying this?
Never in my life did I think I'd say
No.
all of that in one time. So it's often confused with the Mananagal and tick-tick, but the wak-wak is far more brutal. Instead of feeding delicately with its crazy tongue,
Oh, that's delicate?
it tears its victims apart with long claws and sharp beaks.
Ew.
Flesh and entrails are its preference. And like the other Aswangs, the wak-wak blends into society. By day, it appears as a beautiful woman. In some versions, it even marries and has a family. At night, its arms become wings, its fingers become talons, and its face twists into a predator's snarl. There's even a theory that the wak-wak myth may have originated from sightings of enormous, now extinct bat species in the region, fossils which bear an eerie resemblance to humanoid forms. Combine that with the nighttime sounds of geckos or birds, and it's not hard to see how this terror took flight. In many rural areas, the sound of the wak-wak still causes villagers to rush inside and lock their doors. According to lore, The Wak-Wak cannot enter homes, so shelter offers some measure of protection.
It is interesting that, like, there are so many, like, I feel like things that come back to, like, and it always comes back to vampires for me. Because, like, that's such a, like, vampire thing. Like, you can't go in somebody's home unless you're invited in. Like,
Or a Black-Eyed Kids thing.
Yeah, like, it's so universal in so many,
In the picture, she kind of has black eyes.
Oh my god, the face is insane.
None of these things are like...
It does look like a bat.
Yeah.
Very much looks like a bat.
That's
so crazy.
I feel like not... Obviously, like, this style of, like, podcasts and, like, cryptids, like, we're talking about all these things that are scary, but, like, this is definitely something that's, like, these are just not...
Yeah.
There's not one where you're just kind of like, I mean, a werewolf. You can kind of be like, it might be kind of cute. These are just, not cute at all.
No.
Next up, we have the corpse eater. Not all the Aswang prefer the living. The corpse eater, sometimes called the ball or ungo, preys on the freshly dead. It exhumes bodies from their graves and devours them under the cover of night. In some stories, it even replaces a stolen corpse with a decoy made of plant matter or leaves, tricking mourners during funeral rites.
That's crazy that they're smart enough to, like, replace the body.
And making it look good enough.
Right.
Descriptions of these ghouls vary. Some say that they have backward feet, or that they walk with an unnatural gait. Others describe them as skeletal and reeking of decay, capable of sniffing out death like a hound. Arch, could you sniff death out?
I don't think he could. I think Archie would run.
I
don't think Arch would get that far.
No, I don't think Arch would. I'm not sure he can sniff anything. This is a thing Frank and I talk about all the time. We have 2 golden retrievers.
You do?
Neither one can catch a ball.
No.
Just hits them in the face.
Yeah.
And I was like, what's this whole Air Bud thing? Like,
he can hit a mic, though.
And now Archie can hit a mic.
He can hit a mic, though.
Are you booping the mic there, Arch?
Booping
Just wait till the hail.
tail.
Wait till the tail hits it.
Yep.
There it is.
Have a seat, dude. Why are you all like, you can't?
Because he wants to be on your lap, but he can't because the computer's there and the mic's there.
Back to our regularly scheduled programming.
I don't even remember where I was. From the top. Tonight we're going to be covering the Aswang.
From the top, he says.
Straight to the top. So, descriptions of the ghouls vary. Some say, I just said that. They have backward feet. They can smell death like a hound. In the region of Zambogana. Zambogana?
Whatever. Close enough.
Yeah. There's a female corpse-stealing creature known as the Ungu. It leaves its home each night through a secret hole in the roof to find bodies, to cook and serve to its neighbors. If someone unknowingly eats the meat, they too become an Ungo. Among the Apayo people, sorry about that pronunciation, there is the Wirwir, a grave-dwelling being who went everywhere spending his time looking for the dead. Local shamans and priests would make offerings to pacify him and prevent him from disturbing burials. In southern Albay, there's even a legend of the Aswang who feeds its family with a corpse it disguises as pork, a dark reflection of community, nourishment, and deception.
Get out of here with this picture. Actually get out of my face with this picture. Like, I'm gonna have nightmares.
You probably will.
That's not real, right?
I mean,
it's gotta be.
It's a picture.
Yeah, but like,
it looks pretty real. Looks realer than the other ones. The other ones are drawings.
I don't like that at all, Sam. Why did you do that to me?
You'll see it on the Instagram post.
Yeah, don't worry. I'll make sure everybody else has to see this.
Another dangerous variation of the Aswang is the animal shapeshifter. These beings take form of pigs, dogs, cats, or even birds. Their goal? To move undetected, slipping through villages and forests in search of vulnerable victims. But not all as it seems. There's a common belief that if you see an animal acting strangely, like a pig walking backward, or a dog with human eyes, it may be an Aswang in disguise. These creatures wear the skin of other beings, and they're often used to explain misfortunes or mysterious illnesses. Even stranger is the idea that the Aswang can create doppelgangers from leaves and wood. These false bodies might replace a person they've killed, tricking loved ones into thinking the victim simply became sick and died. Some doppelgangers replace corpses, giving the illusion of a peaceful death when the real body has been eaten. As if that wasn't enough, Aswangs also manipulate sound, like the tick-tick and the walk-walk. They use their voices to disorient victims. Louder means further, quieter means death is near. So, I'm sure after seeing the pictures and going through all of that, you can't wait to become an Aswang.
There's actually not a single thing in the world that I would, rather not do than that. I'd rather do anything else.
But it's kind of fun.
No.
Becoming one is kind of fun.
I don't care.
All right, well.
You could tell me.
You let me know after
you can tell me, but I'm still not going to do it.
So, this is where it's going to get truly disturbing.
Oh, perfect.
We've talked about the Aswang. We talked about what the Aswang is. But how does one become an Aswang? According to folklore, the transformation doesn't come from being bitten like Western vampires or cursed by the gods. It's far more personal and much more invasive.
Perfect.
One of the most well-known stories involves a dark ritual using a fertilized chicken egg. The egg is tied to the person's stomach for several nights. Eventually, the tiny black chick inside is said to pass from the egg into the stomach of the person, usually while they sleep or perform a ritual. Once that happens, the remaining eggshell is buried in a bamboo tube along with coconut oil and chicken dung, a kind of grotesque magical relic. From that moment on, the person is no longer fully human. They've entered into a parasitic relationship with something dark and living inside them. Their powers will develop slowly, heightened strength at night, the urge to feed, shape-shifting, and maybe even the ability to pass the curse on to someone else. Could you imagine, real quick?
I'm so unamused right now, it's not even funny.
But, could you imagine your powers slowly develop? It's like you went to bed, and you maybe you don't feel good, or you're thinking you're, really hungry or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden you wake up and you shape-shifted, and now you're, a bug or something. How the hell did this happen?
You're a bug.
You know what I mean?
Well,
or a dog or a cat or something. You wake up and you're just now I have 4 paws. How'd this happen?
How the hell did I
How do I get back? That's all I can think of. It's like the scary movie thing. If you go to bed dead and wake up alive, or go to bed... Wow, butchered that one. Mm-hmm. Go to bed alive and wake up dead. How do you wake up dead?
How do you wake up dead? Yeah.
I think it's the whole Kevin Hart scene. Which, when this comes out, Frank's going to be like, you butchered that and it's bad. And I'm like, yeah, I know. I don't quote things very well. So when the Aswang reaches the end of its unnatural life, it cannot die in peace until it passes on its powers. This is done in a chillingly intimate way. It leans in, mouth to mouth, and spits the living chick into the successor's mouth, almost like a twisted form of a kiss. In this act, the legacy continues, the cycle repeats.
And you wanted me to do this shit?
I didn't say wanted you to do it.
I could think of 1,000 things, actually. At first it was 100, I'm bumping it up to 1,000. I could think of 1,000 things I would rather do than this.
All you gotta do is walk around with a chicken egg on your belly.
No, I'm good.
Okay. Yep, she's fine then. This particular form of transmission eerily mirrors old Filipino beliefs that amulets or magical charms are swallowed and kept inside the body to grant protection or power. Here, however, the charm is no divine gift. It's a living, monstrous being, hungry and waiting. The Aswang's ritual isn't just a creepy campfire story. It's also rooted in historical trauma and colonial reinterpretation. In the 1589 monograph written by Spanish friar Juan de Pelicina, the term Aswang was used to classify certain types of witches, but not all of them were evil. After Spanish colonization, these Babeline were demonized. To discredit their influence, colonial friars began recasting them as sorcerers and even shapeshifters, blaming them for everything from crop failure to infant mortality. Over time, they merged into the Aswang narrative. Why a chick and why an egg? In many magical traditions around the world, eggs symbolize life, fertility, and transformation. They're primordial vessels of creation. In Filipino culture, this symbolism isn't lost, except it's twisted. The chick isn't a source of life, but of undeath. One superstition claims that eating an over-fertilized bulot, a steamed fertilized duck egg, common in the Philippines, might lead to Aswang transformation. Introduced by the Chinese immigrants between the 16th and 19th centuries, bulot is a common snack, but in the context of folklore, it is seen as dangerous if the chick inside is too developed. To protect themselves, people began adding vinegar and salt, not just for taste, but because acidic liquids were believed to reveal the supernatural nature of spoiled or cursed meat, a culinary habit with a hidden magical function. Now, it's interesting because you see in, like, a lot of ghost movies and stuff like that, like Supernatural, they use salt to, like, stop things, and it seems like salt and garlic and all that stuff, Aswangs too.
Yeah. It's universal.
While the chick transfer ritual is the most sensationalized folklore suggests, there are several other ways a person might become an Aswang. Personal effort or dark ritual. Some choose to become Aswangs through occult practices, rubbing magical oils, or ingesting cursed items. Contamination. Close contact with an Aswang, especially eating food they've prepared, can sometimes infect a person. Heredity. Some tales suggest it runs in the family. In these stories, children are raised with the knowledge that someday they too will inherit the curse.
That's crazy.
And then there's always unintentional transformation. In rare legends, people become Aswangs unknowingly, especially after eating cursed meat. So, we got a good gist on everything Aswang.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I've got some encounters and stories.
Perfect.
To just kind of go along with the legend. Aswang tales aren't just legends passed down in books or whispered at bedtime. In many Filipino communities, they're real. Something people have seen, heard, or felt. Whether rooted in psychological terror, unexplained illnesses, or ancient superstition, these stories form the living heart of Aswang folklore. Let's dive into a few chilling encounters, some historical, some personal, and some pulled from online confessionals by those brave enough to share. This story comes from a woman named Amelia, a beloved grandmother whose tales of the supernatural were the highlight of her family's summer nights. When she was young, she lived with her newlywed brother and his pregnant wife in a Bahay Kubo, a traditional Filipino stilt house. One night, while everyone slept, Amelia heard panting under the floor. She assumed it was a dog until she peered through the bamboo slats and locked eyes with something unnatural. Huge, glowing red eyes stared back at her. The creature was hairy and massive. Her brother, armed with a perceived bunta pigi, a stingray tail believed to ward off Aswangs, ran outside, but the beast was gone. Only deep claw marks remained in the soil. From that night on, no one slept in the salon beneath the house ever again.
I wonder why.
Right? In Capiz, the so-called Aswang capital of the Philippines, stories persist of pigs that vanish into the woods, walking backwards. One group of teenagers approached what they thought was a regular pig on the road, and as they got closer, it bolted into the forest, but in reverse. I would like to know if pigs could just walk backwards in general. So pigs can walk backwards.
There you go.
Figure that out. Now, in Iloilo, a woman 8 months pregnant heard an eerie tick-tick sound circling her roof late one night. Her husband investigated in the morning and found claw marks along the bamboo walls. A folk healer warned them that they had been stalked. Had they not woken up, the creature would have taken the unborn child. Interestingly, some scholars tie these regional Aswang stories to historic colonial trauma. According to the Aswang by Vincente Perez, belief in the Aswang was well rooted in Iloilo, decades before World War II. Those stories like the legendary Tenti Gimo, who supposedly faked being an Aswang to scare off the Japanese soldiers, are famous. They were not the origin. These fears go deeper. A Filipino-American user on Reddit recounted his unsettling brush with an Aswang while staying at his in-laws. His pregnant wife, barely showing, had been greeted by a strange old woman in the market who somehow knew she was expecting. That night, they heard crashing sounds on the metal roof, scraping claws. His brother-in-law climbed up with a flashlight and caught the sight of something vaguely human leaping into the dark. Even their neighbors reported sightings of a pig sniffing around at night. Only when they installed the CCTV did the visitation stop. But to this day, they wondered what would have happened if they hadn't acted.
And thank God they did.
One of the most infamous stories involves a man who killed a black pig beneath his stilt house. His pregnant wife had been getting sicker every day, and the pig was lurking every night under her bedroom. He killed it with a machete and brought it to the police to report it. When the officials looked, the pig had somehow transformed into a human corpse. He was arrested, and locals claimed that he had done the right thing. He had slain an Aswang, but the law didn't see it that way.
No shot. No shot a pig corpse turned into an actual man's corpse.
You heard it here on the Ominous Archives.
No way. I don't believe that.
You just did.
I don't believe it.
Seeing isn't believing.
I don't believe it. Although, how are you going to charge that man with murder? That's wild. You know, how?
I don't know.
That's crazy.
Yep. Another Reddit account. A group of young women were staying in a house in Katevit with a pregnant friend. Late at night, one girl looked out the bathroom window and screamed. She saw something she claimed was a tick-tick. The girl who was pregnant began to cry. They gave her a rosary, and everyone went silent. Then the rustling came. Heavy wings followed the unmistakable sound of a pig outside. The problem? There were no pig farms nearby. Earlier that week, someone had already asked their pregnant friend if she was expecting. When she said no, the stranger just nodded and replied, "There's a tick-tick, you know." For many, growing up in the province meant certain rules. Eat before dark, stay indoors at night, and never answer when dogs bark or the tick-tick sound begins. In places where electricity flickers and silence can be deafening, the stories feel closer. As one Redditor put it, when the tick-tick sounds far, it's still coming. When you no longer hear it, it's already here.
That's horrifying.
And there's hundreds of these stories online.
Right.
The Aswang isn't just folklore, it symbolizes fear of the unknown, women who defy traditional roles, the threat of disease and death, distrust of outsiders. In many tales, the Aswang is a woman, often beautiful and independent. These traits alone were enough to make someone suspicious in traditional Filipino communities. Some experts argue that the Aswang stories were early methods of social control, especially targeting women and the marginalized. So, that kind of wraps up all the spookiness and the encounters. Now, the Aswang's still, like, kind of around today, obviously, in the Filipino folklore and everything, but there's been documentaries in Aswang in 2019. There was a film made. It's also found the home in the Philippine horror cinema. There's about, a few movies made about it there. It's in comics. It's kind of all over.
Right.
Even outside the Philippines, it started to make, like, eerie appearances. It's in Grimm, the NBC show. Lost Girl. And it's in online horror games, creepypasta forms. They've all kind of adapted it into their thing. So the Aswang has totally, like, been accepted by the cryptid communities.
For sure.
And the horror, like, communities. It's something to be that way.
Yeah.
So, do you think the Aswang's real?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I do. The only thing that, like, actually had me questioning this entire thing is when you said that corpse, the pig corpse and the dead body. That is no shot. I feel like if that was a real thing that happened, this would be 10 times bigger. Like, you know what I mean?
They hide stuff, though. It's proven that they hide things.
This is true. You're correct. So, yeah. Let me take it with a grain of salt. Yeah. Actually, you are correct. But it would be one of the wildest things I've ever heard if that was actually true.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of comes down to, like, what your definition of real is.
Yeah.
It exists in stories, in fears, cultural memory. For many, that's more than enough.
Right.
And if you ever find yourself alone in the remote Filipino village at night, and you hear a faint tick-tick in the distance, don't assume you're safe. Remember, the quieter it gets, the closer it is. And that will wrap up the Aswang.
It's very ominous. I don't like it at all.
Yeah, it is. It's a creepy one. And I think it's a great one to lead us into
spooky season.
The last episode of spooky season.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, no, 2 more. We have 2 more of spooky season. So I wanted to, thank everyone for joining us on this chilling journey of the Aswang. As always, please leave a review, share it with friends, family, somebody you think it might freak out. Why not? Rate us. It helps us reach more people. Also, we have a thing that we've been saying wrong this whole time. If you want to email us, our email address is ominousarchives@gmail.com. Not
That's what I've been saying.
I think I was saying the.
No, I've been on top of it.
It's just
ominousarchives@gmail.com. Yeah. I knew that. Don't get it twisted. Okay.
We're on all of our socials, Instagram. I guess you can't say all the socials because we're only on Instagram and TikTok. We do have X.
We're on
it's
the
not very active.
Important socials. Yeah. Like, let's be real.
Mm-hmm. Also, we would like to say thanks, Sam.
Yes.
She was the main writer of this episode. And she has her own blog you can check out at scaremesam.com. Or you can check out her podcast, Scare Me Sam. It's a really good one, especially if you're looking for a new horror thriller kind of book. I think that's it. My throat's getting dry, so I think it's time to actually finish this off. Don't forget to come back next week as we dive into more strange and haunted stories in the Ominous Archives. See ya.
See ya.